Imagine you're a high school football player in the South and you've just taken a hard hit to the head during a game. You're rushed to the emergency department where doctors quickly diagnose you with a concussion. But have you ever wondered why you might be more likely to get a concussion diagnosis in the South compared to other parts of the country? Researchers have been studying this very question, and their findings might surprise you.
A recent study analyzed a public database of emergency department visits from 2010 to 2010, focusing on both sport-related and non-sport-related concussions. What they found was that the rates of concussion diagnoses varied significantly depending on where you live in the U.S. The South had the highest rates of concussion diagnoses, while the Midwest and Northeast had lower rates. But what's behind these regional differences? The researchers think that it might have something to do with variations in healthcare access and utilization across different regions.
One of the most interesting findings of the study was that the vast majority of concussions, a whopping 94.3%, were caused by non-sport related mechanisms, such as motor vehicle accidents and falls. This is a big deal because for about the past decade, most of the attention in legislation has been focused on sport-related concussions. But the study suggests that we need to start paying more attention to these non-sport-related concussions too. After all, if you're more likely to get a concussion from a car accident than from playing football, shouldn't we be doing more to prevent those accidents from happening in the first place?
So, what does this mean for you? If you live in the South, you might want to be more aware of the risks of concussion, especially if you're involved in sports or other activities that put you at risk for head injuries. And if you're a policymaker or healthcare provider, you might want to start thinking about ways to improve access to healthcare and reduce the number of concussions in your region. The researchers are calling for more policy attention to be focused on preventing and treating non-sport related concussions. And it's hard to argue with that.
The study looked at over 1.1 million emergency department visits, which translates to more than 7 million visits nationwide. That's a lot of people, and it highlights just how common concussions are. But by understanding more about the regional variations in concussion diagnoses, we can start to get a better sense of how to prevent and treat these injuries. And who knows, you might just learn something that saves your head, literally, someday.
In conclusion, concussions are a serious issue that affects people all over the U.S., but by understanding more about the regional variations in concussion diagnoses, we can start to get a better sense of how to prevent and treat these injuries. Whether you're an athlete, a policymaker, or just someone who wants to stay safe, this study has some important lessons to teach us. So next time you're out on the field or on the road, remember, concussions are a serious business, and it's up to all of us to stay safe and informed.